Next up is Lavia. Okay, so Lavia is an elf. She's the only elf healer, so if you're running elf, she's all you got. And the worst thing was that she was the weak healer, but the great thing was she could heal everyone. So for me, if all my units are running all over the place, if they're like cavalry units, I would probably place her on my team. Now, the big change is the soul weapon. The soul weapon has completely changed her, because now this beautiful tree grows in the middle of the game, and she's responsible for it. She's pretty good. I don't know why I'm copying. she's pretty good, to be honest. Very, very impressive. With this soul weapon. Without the soul weapon, she's not the greatest, but again, there are just not enough healers in the game, and you don't want to waste having too many soldiers as healers. So again, she's a great healer to have, I guess, and she would have to be a lead. All healers in general are just going to be, most of them I guess will be stuck at like the S level. Will they get any better? I mean this is just how it's going to go for now. I mean they're just, yeah, the healers are great. Healers are healers, and for her soul weapon does it. I generally want to move her, but I'll do it later. So here we go. So I'm just going to copy up her soul weapon. In fact, I don't need to copy that up. Copy it from him, and I'll move it across. There, done. Easy peasy. So her soul weapon is good, and I don't believe her soul weapon needs to be like such a high level, so you can actually still get quite a lot out of her. I'm just unlucky that I haven't pulled her on my main account. Okay, so let's move on to Sofia. There's, you know, in the past she was a problem because she never had the buff. She never had the soul weapon. The soul weapon the soul weapon's ruined everything. Soul weapon has ruined everything. Have you seen this Sofia's soul weapon? Okay, so even at level 1, charges to deal 600% damage to physical damage to enemies in the path, knocks them back, and reduces crit rate by 15% for 10 seconds. Alright, let's keep looking. And then the next, at level 10, crit rate, you get plus 7%. And then at 15, White Tempest of the Royam increases physical attack and crit rate by 15% for 15 seconds when you defeat an enemy. Cooldown, 40 seconds. I mean, this is scary. So every time she kills someone, she has this increase in physical attack and crit rate by 15%, and it lasts for 15 seconds. So she can cause so much damage, and if you manual her and have her kill, destroy for 15 seconds and pull her back, you could do a lot. So for a whale, she's off the charts. She's ridiculous. This is just so wrong. I mean, I think if you've ever gone against her in an arena, sometimes just one of her can destroy 40 people. I mean, alright, so what about her active, okay? Charges at the enemy, look how much she deals. It's like 1,700. Physical damage, knocking them back, reduces their acceleration by 35% for 6 seconds. Cooldown, 18 seconds, knockback distance, yeah, 1.2. So, I mean, she has a debuff on her as well. Passive skill resets the charge. Okay, so let's pop it to the top. And passive skills resets the charge's cooldown and restores your HP by 30% when you kill an enemy. God, it's like it resets and restores your HP. So this passive skill is going to be, what can I say? It's probably the best. One of the best, as well as Alus's, one of the best in the game. Imagine you know, if you can use her soul weapon and you really power her up, because remember now we have 12 stars, before we didn't. Now they even buffed They gave her an extra 200 HP. Now they gave her a soul weapon. They didn't give her anything like this before. She never had all this. Now she has all this. And with her soul weapon, and if she can get a kill, and restoring her HP with a short cooldown of 5 seconds. And imagine if the next awakening will be of passive skills. I'm pretty sure in the future we're gonna... I mean, imagine if this goes to like, what, 50%? Imagine if this climbs even more. I mean, she's already too powerful. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, literally, right, you could have her as a leader, or you could have her as a normal role. The point is her passive skill with a soul weapon. But if you have her ultimate skill, you have a higher chance of defeating the enemy. So she's on another level. For a whale, she's SS. For a whale, you have to have her. You have no choice, and you're gonna need her soul weapon for a whale as well. So you're gonna need a soul weapon. So one of the big changes probably from last time is that how viable is she for for free to play? Well, I would say she'll probably be a late game. She's a late game. I don't know how much you can do with her at the beginning. Maybe if you put all your resources mid game, but in general she's probably still a late game. But you could still get a lot out of her because of her passive. I mean, if you really work at her passive, which you only need those green skill stones to get her to level 11. I mean, and if she can get a kill, if you have a good weapon, so when you're going to get a great weapon, when you're going to have like some very nice crit damage, probably mid to late game. So mid to late game, she's going to be great. Should she be SS or S? This is a very difficult one. At the moment, for me, she's still not. I've been playing this game for a long time, and she's still not my main. But I don't necessarily use her as a leader, but I can say she's great in a normal role as well. She's quick, she's swift, she does such a good job. It's a very difficult one. Let me put it this way. If you can get the kill, if you get kills with her, then she's SS. If you can't get a kill with her, then if she can't get kills, then she's C to D. That's how I would see her. If she can't sustain herself, you can't use her. So for a free to play in a normal role, it could be more of a late game. Oh, don't know what happened. Let's try that again. Yeah, so maybe in a normal role, she's pretty good late game. But perhaps at the beginning, she like maybe at mid, she might need mid game. You might need to have her as a leader, or she can't get the kills. So let's get her here. Goodness. Sorry. So I'm pushing her to SS because her damage is just. I mean, what she can do is crazy. What she's doing is absolutely crazy. There we go. Let's bring it to the front and let's pop it on there. There we go. MI mid game. Okay, so is there any other things I need to say about her? Her buff is to herself, but she can debuff, she can buff, she can do many things. She can tank. Yeah, I'm gonna say, I'll put it this way: for a whale, she tanks. I would say for other people, you'll probably focus more on her DPS. I mean, for a whale, she can also tank. It depends how you use her, to be honest. But I'll put her as a tank here as well. but I'm not sure you can get her to tank very well unless it's late game. But so I'm not going to write. But goodness, isn't this a major change? God, this is too much of a change. Yeah. Ugh. Next up is Silpha from the Elf faction. Quite an interesting unit. Looks good on paper as usual, and just never lives up to her potential. What should we do? We'll give her 7 stars. We'll awaken her even, and let's see what she can offer us. I mean, so here, launches a massive light endlessly. The arrows penetrate all the enemies, and in fact, and yeah, DOT fire damage exactly like Lena's, even Lena's soul weapon to some extent, but 6 times, stunned for 2 seconds. I mean, there's all these great things written down, but when I use Silpha, I get nothing out of her. She's really like useless for me, absolutely useless, and it's very strange because I mean, her skills are not that bad, to be honest. A lot of stunning, and you know, she could have been good if there was no Natasha. Like Natasha, you'll see later, I guess. But anyway, I mean, yeah, stun, and look at this one. Like the Pride Parade, huh? So activates a buff that increases physical attack of the archer by units by 35% for 5 seconds when you kill an enemy with a cooldown of 8 seconds. Okay, so I mean, this is great, right? But 5 seconds, 35% for 5 seconds, and you have to kill an enemy. This would be ideal perhaps for the cave. It could be good when you're killing general enemies. It might really work very well. I haven't utilized it, so I think in a certain situation it could be this might be a small game changer, but still 35%. What's the point when Alus can just buff everyone and anyone, and he doesn't need to kill anyone. He needs to be nearly killed. So I don't know. Can Silpha really keep killing things with every 8 seconds with the 8-second cooldown? Can Silpha just make a kill 8 seconds, then 5 seconds in place? So 1 kill every 13 seconds. Can Silpha do that? A kill every 13 seconds? No, absolutely not. So it's really difficult. What do you do with this archer? I mean the archer's alright in general, does interesting things, I guess. But what do we do? Oh, let me add this. The soul weapon, the faction. It works with Silpha's faction skill. I mean, meaning that Silpha has to be taking charge of the faction. So, meaning Silpha has to be leading, like, the elf archers, and that, and you must remember this is weird. This just isn't right. It's just ridiculous. And in the plus 15, when Silpha's passive skill, Archer's Pride activates, it just increases the physical attack of archer units by an additional 5%. Now this one actually has slight benefit. Archer's Pride increased by 5%. So so the Great Pride skill, an extra 5%. So if you add 5%, what would that make it? You kill someone and you get 40%. I mean, it could be good. It could be good. It could not be good. But for a whale, I'm not so sure about that one. So there's too many weird things about Silpha. So although I use Silpha on my 3 versus 3 team, I don't really use her in 2v2. I'd rather use a soldier. So Silver is weird, but Silver does have a buff. So Silver again. So there's another unit with a buff, but the buff is weird. Depends on kills, and she ain't gonna kill many people. So ridiculous. Next is Yarrow Gash. So Yarrow Gash is like the tank. Overall 4.5. I mean, whoever gave him 4.5 is on drugs. I mean, he's the tank, but is he really the tank when you have Dread for the Orcs? I mean, how often do you ever see Yarrow Gash last? I mean, I took him seriously at one point. I admit, I tried so hard to use him in my arena team and everything, and using the Berserker's Shout by buffing all my swordsmen with attack speed of 50% and movement speed of 50% for 10 seconds with the... No, it wasn't 10 seconds. The cooldown was a bit better later, right? Oh, wait a second. It was really... was it really 10 to 35? No, 15 to 30. So 15 seconds with a cooldown of 30. I did try until I thought carefully and thought, why do my swordsman units need an attack speed of 50 and a movement speed of 50? And I thought, I'm such an idiot. What kind of unit, what kind of sword unit do I need that for when my sword units are just there to tank and maybe to stun? Like what sword units need that? And so I thought carefully. I thought, maybe their own soldiers, maybe they're berserkers, maybe they're berserkers swords units, maybe ideally the elf dual swordsman could become super with this. So if you connect it right, but no one uses elf dual swordsman soldiers, so this is worthless. However, could it work really well with werebeast sword users, those foxes? Like if they were evading everything and jumping around, like while those sword users are irritating the computer, your NPC units, while they're being irritated, maybe Natasha could completely take you out. So it's possible that this buff could have a use if you use it correctly. Apart from that, everything else sucks. Do I even want to look at the do I even want to look at the soul weapon? Not really. Do I know what it would be? I don't even know which one it would be. Oh, it's that one, I remember. I'm confused actually. Now I think about it. Why does he use axes? Wait a second, I'm going mad. Anyway, he has axes. Why does he have axes? I'm so confused. He's a sword user. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, why is he a swordsman with axes? I'm completely... What is this? This is the biggest stupidity in the game. Okay, so increases attack speed, movement speed. I'm not even going to say anything about it. Plus 10, sacrificing the weak. Great. When your HP is 30% or lower, reduces the HP of one nearby ally, by only 4%, 2 times for 2 seconds, and restores your HP by 6%. What is this, like, stupid little percentage change? What is this stingy bloody hell, man? What is wrong with this? What about this? Plus 15 increases attack speed and movement speed by an additional 9% from Yarrow Gash's ultimate skill, Berserker Shout. So the 9%, actually, that would do nice for a whale. So if you use him well with the right people, he's great. If not, he's not. So again, he's a bit of a mess really, and he needs to be a leader. So what are we going to do with him? I mean, for a whale, maybe he's a bit better, right? But in general, I still don't see a use for him. Yeah, the use is pretty much useless. But again, there you go. And why in the world did I put Silver as a leader? She's no leader, I tell you that. She's a loser. So, but if you do want, was it because of her buff? No, her buff was a passive. I guess you'd need her as a leader if you really want her buff to work. Anyway, yeah, what a mess. Again, so we got him. We got this guy's buff, but he's absolutely. Ugh, he's a tank. He's supposed to be a tank. I can't believe it. In fact, even Mikau is supposed to be a tank. Oh, I'm surrounded by all these useless tanks. It's like, yes, Mikau the tank, this tank, this tank, this tank, and they're not someone I can say thank you very much to. Haha. Sorry. Anyway, that's it. I'll edit that. There you go. Magic. Magic, magic, magic. So the tanks are just getting worse, but they do provide buffs. Oh, is it going to get any worse now? Oh, for the whale, I'm going to write that Yarrow Gash gets special, and that means only special use for certain units. Special use for certain units. You have to understand what to use him for, or he's still not even worth being a B. Unviable. So special, as in special person, disable. So now we're moving on from the Yarrow Gash guy to the divine Creme Hilt. Creme Hilt herself. What's there not to like about Creme Hilt? Creme Hilt is every beginner's favourite tank. There's literally no other tank that can be loved more than Creme Hilt. I mean, Creme Hilt's, yeah, you know, lovely skin, great. I think I still use that skin. I mean, Creme Hilt, what's there not to like? I mean, except a few things. But now we do have level 70. It has helped tank her a bit more. Now we have level 12. It's helped tank her more. Now we have the cloak. It tanks her more. So what's the deal here? Well, the leadership skill of the jump, the jumping into units and hitting them and stuff. I mean, it's not powerful. It's not powerful, but what is important is the buff it casts. But the problem is the buff is casted only on her, and it's casted for 5 seconds. But she puts herself in a very dangerous position, and then everyone will try and hit her. But is it going to be that she's only going to be hit by melee units for the physical defense, or is she going to be hit by magicians and archers? I mean, and look at the cooldown of 25 seconds. 25-second cooldown. 25, and that's fully developed. I mean, that cooldown is bad. That cooldown is awful. How's she going to survive? 5 seconds in, 20 seconds to survive. Can she really survive? This is the thing. If she can survive, she becomes great. If she can't survive, then she sucks. So for the beginner game, she will survive. Later on, maybe she won't. Now, what about her active skill with Awakening? She's a great Awakening. She used to be like one of the top 3 to first awaken. But now, because you can use soldiers for tanks, it's like she has lost a lot of credibility. Now that we have level 70s and all the stuff, and it's easy, and we can put soldiers at level 12 more easier than heroes. Well, unless you're a whale. Apart from that, I mean, she's lost so much due to the changes in the game. She has fallen loads. So what are you going to do? Yeah, what are you going to do? Especially when the game is more DPS focused. Can she really keep alive? Can you really keep her alive with her passive skill? Restores 30% HP for 10 seconds when hit. Cooldown 12 seconds. Can you really survive that 12 seconds? Is 30% of HP enough? It depends how high your HP is in the first place. It depends how much you are losing. There's a lot to think about here. How about her soul weapon? Will that make some changes? So, increases the duration. Oh, you get physical defense of 8%, okay? But increases the duration of Creme Hilt's passive skill, Freyjar's Blessings, by an additional 2%. 2 seconds. that 2 seconds does that does help a lot. So it is actually quite a good assault weapon to have. And again, melee EVA, evasion plus 6%. I mean, I think she already, I know her range evasion was like 30%, but I have to check her melee. I mean, for this kind of unit, for all these tanks, if the evasion is not high, then they probably can't survive on defense alone. So you have to really plan the tanks pretty well. Otherwise, yeah, what are you going to do? So again, physical defense at level 10. Level 10 is a bit of a waste. And then plus 15 increases the physical defense buff duration of Creme Hilt's ultimate skill by an additional 7 seconds. So if you're a whale, she becomes a much better tank. If you have level 15, her tankiness improves a lot. So as a whale, woo. As a non-whale, So it's difficult. I'll start with a whale. I mean, honestly speaking, there's honestly not, in terms of the tank. She is the tank. Like, other units are not really like, you know, the great Mercedes. Mercedes is not supposed to really tank. She wasn't designed, I think, as a tanker. Like Anna here. Anna wasn't designed really to tank, I guess. But again, when the people who made this game ruined the Holy Trinity concept and completely buggered up, well, they buggered up Anna, but luckily Mercedes came out well. It's like Anna became the bad version of Mercedes. So anyway, whatever. But they're trying to buff her. They gave her a buff. Last week they buffed Anna. Only Anna. They gave her a special buff, and it was a skill that would help her attack. So it seems they want us to see that she's not a tank and she's more of an attacker. Why would that be? Is it because they want the tank to be Kieru? So finally they're starting to think, the developers, about each unit. So this is interesting. Now, Creme Hilt. Where does Creme Hilt go? Who knows? If you like tanks, then she's the best tank you have. So you'll probably use her all the time, I guess. But I don't know. It's, again, I'm so confused. I think I'll start with Norm. Yeah, I mean, how are you going to use her? If you use her as a leader, she has the longest cooldown on the planet. But if you're a new player, you'll probably have her as a leader. If not, probably have her as a normal role. So I'm really confused. But I'm going to do something randomly weird. Yep, I'm going to give her an early game S. Yeah. There we go. And early game, she's great. And how about late game? I'm gonna put her as an A or a B. Up to you. I mean, think about it, right? In fact, I'm going to put her as a B. I know a lot of people are going to be very against it. Everyone's going to say, like, at least put her as an A. Let me tell you why. Yes, she's a tank, and she's probably the best tank out of all of them. But she doesn't buff anyone. She's damn selfish. She's selfish. She only thinks of herself. You know, these tanks, you know, they're thinking of others. But, yeah, they can't really tank. That's the problem. Every tank really sucks. But if you use Mercedes combined with Sofia, what kind of... I mean, do you really need Creme Hilt? I mean, seriously? So you have to think, what are you using? Who are you using? What are you doing? I mean, so, alright, let me make you feel better. And let me make me feel better. How's that? let's put her into the ranking 3 times. Okay, so you can guess, mid-game, perhaps she could be an A. Although I disagree. And but I have to think of you guys. I'm not just thinking of myself here. But I do know people at mid-game using her and using her well. But I do think late game she falls. So I think there's a lot to learn from that. And with regard to a whale, I mean, a whale could literally turn... A whale could probably turn anyone into a tank. I might just put her as an A, and her soul weapon is not too bad. So so at the top level, in fact, a soul weapon might be enough with all the extra buffs. It might be enough to make her pretty crazy. She might even become an S, depending. And the point is, can you keep her alive for long enough or not? And how are you going to use her? So, lot to think about. Perhaps it could be really good. So, but you must remember something here. The meta has changed. The meta is not the same as the past. Natasha has ruined the whole meta. You no longer have like these heroes randomly running around. You have heroes, or heroes, your units are all running around, and then all of a sudden they get caught in a net by some strange cowgirl on a horse, and they all get pulled and dragged into her. So Creme Hilt has lost credibility. I tell you that much. Next,